Good morning and welcome to another episode of At the Catch. This morning I'm here with Luana, who is the Director of Customer Experience at Ergatta. Really excited to have you on, Luana.
Me too. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Well, it'd be fun to go inside the Ergattaverse and talk to someone from the inside. And you are, in many respects, the face of Ergatta when it comes to the community and getting answers. So I think this is just going to be great. So before we delve into questions and technicalities, just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you ended up at Ergatta.
For sure. So I've actually been in the fitness space for over 5+ years now. I previously worked for another brand which also offered connected fitness and a studio space. And I would say the fitness space being a small world, heard about Ergata from some former colleagues for consulting and was really excited about the opportunity. I had actually never been a rower before I worked at Ergata. It was my first time trying the rowing machine, like many of our members, and I instantly fell in love. I found that it really did give me a full body workout, which I absolutely enjoyed. And being someone who's really competitive, I absolutely enjoyed meteor and also races. So when I first started, I think like I completed our monthly challenge within like 2 weeks or something, just because I was so like in love with the experience. And I really did get a lot of gratification from taking our workouts and just competing as well. I also really love like our corporate environment. We have a very fun company that really just rewards you for hard work. And it's just something that I really enjoy. But yeah, I've been here for about 3.5 years. Originally started in January 2021 when we were really hitting the ground running, and our community was growing immensely, which is very exciting. And yeah, I helped grow our customer support team and our department to what it is today. And with that, also supported a lot of our community aspects as well with growing our community and also supporting just everything, every aspect of the business with helping ensure that all other departments were understanding all of our customer pain points, feedback, et cetera, to really make sure that we were offering the best experience we can.
Very good. So paint a picture for us of the Ergatta environment. I mean, you guys are in Manhattan. You're not a huge company. Um, do people, I mean, I'm sure there are machines in the office. Do people row in this?
Yeah, so we are based in Manhattan. So I would say generally some of our team is in the New York City, but we also have a ton of remote employees across the country. Mostly our engineers, but also we have people in people operations spread across the US, which is great. So we have some representatives across the country. But with regards to our corporate team or just like the team that's based in New York, we do have a couple of rowers in the office. We also have the C2 as well, just so we can use that as well and get to know more of the functionality of that rower itself. But I would say we definitely do a lot of testing in the office. Occasionally, I would say someone will try and fit in a 5 minute workout, but nothing longer than that, just because we don't want to get super sweaty. But our office is great. It's located again in New York. So we got a lot of food options, which is fun. So we'll all generally take breaks together, have some lunch, and just catch up. We'll also hang out after work, which is really fun. Sometimes we'll go to happy hours. Sometimes we'll also do workout classes as well, which is fun. But it's great. Really good energy here.
Well, and sometimes you go out with a bunch of your coworkers and shoot a quick commercial on the streets wearing some Ergatta apparel.
Yes, sometimes we do have some video and photo shoots, which is fun. We recently did one for some to showcase some apparel. We did that around Manhattan, New York. Got stopped a couple times just to ask more about Regatta and also what we were wearing as well. But yeah, we'll try and fit in some photo shoots, and we'll probably be planning to do some more here as well.
Yeah, I'd like to see an Ergatta, out on the street, just some random rowing. That would be great.
We have actually, sometimes we will have like other like events where we'll bring the rower to like a hotel space, mostly just take photos or just like invite some members of the press. So it has been funny to just see people rolling over the rower a couple of blocks, but it's pretty lightweight, which it works out well in our favor.
Very- So tell us a little bit more about your team, and just how your process works, how people connect with you when they have an issue, a suggestion, question, etc.
Definitely. So, our support team uses a platform called Zendesk, which offers phone chat and email support. So, we do offer those channels of support within business hours. So, you can schedule a call, but you can also send us an email at support@ergatta.com whenever it's convenient for you. And our team will generally be in response to you within a business day. So when you send out an email to our team, it goes into a whole queue box, and then we answer any sort of email that comes in the order that it comes in. So you can email us at support@ergata.com. You can also email us at info@ergata.com. If you have any questions or if you have any friends that are interested in learning more about Ergata and the products that we offer, but again, we answer them in the order that they come in. And there were several members of my team. So you could be speaking to me, you could be speaking to one of my colleagues, but we'll always be sure to address any sort of questions you have, or if you have just any sort of feedback or ideas for us, we're always looking for some more like ideas, whether it be on feature requests, or if you just have any sort of general requests for future challenges. So that's another thing that my team manages. So we also manage our Facebook community and all of our other communities on the internet. So our team also helps with planning and really, I would say, spearheads all the planning for our monthly challenges. And then also for some of our member based challenges, such as Member Madness. So we offer Member Madness every couple of months. I would say we try and do like 4 a year. It is fairly new and it's a month-long challenge where you can participate with other members of the community. We try and make it a group challenge so that you're competing in some sort of like challenge to like some sort of completion. There's some sort of goal tied to it that you want to complete. So, for example, our first one was to collect a certain amount of meteor tokens as a whole collective group. And that was really exciting to see. So, again, if you have any sort of ideas for either future group challenges or if you have any ideas for charities that you would like us to participate in for monthly challenges, just reach out to us.
Very good. Very good. Okay. One thing I want to talk about today is the Facebook group and just
Mhm,
the Ergata community.
mhm.
Uh, can you tell us, some background on whose idea was it? Were other companies doing this and you thought, let's do this? Or did it has to have grown to something that beyond anyone's expectations? I mean, with over
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So our Facebook community, I would say, is like one of the has such a positive community. And it's one of the things that I think like all of us in the organization look forward to just reading posts on and just seeing our members. In terms of, like, the start of it, so yes, it is something that other companies do. It's a great area to get feedback, to also get to know your customers very well. Um, and so I would say it came about in our like, when we first started, it was an area where we wanted to just hear more about customer feedback, and we also just wanted a place to really celebrate our members. It's been a really wonderful place to just see people share their milestones, whether it be their first 10,000 meters or 17 million meters. It's been a really great community just to see what people have been able to accomplish on the rower and how Ergata has been a part of their fitness journey. It's also been a place where we have really gotten a lot of great feature recommendations. So we do read every single post that comes in, and those are things that we keep in mind when we are creating future enhancements to the products. So one that comes to mind is like meteor ponds. I think it was something that we had heard so much of customers requesting. It totally makes sense of just like, hey, like wanting to grab a water bottle or like sometimes you get a phone call in the middle of your workout And that was something that we continuously saw through the Facebook group, and it's something that we were able to implement based on so much customer requests and feedback. So again, it's an area that we really enjoy seeing all of the recommendations that come in for feature enhancements, but it's also been a very lovely community. I've been really happy, and I would just say like proud as a Ergatta employee to see the friendships that have been built, the friendly rivalries that I would say that have also been built, but to also hear some of these stories and just how community members have been able to be supportive of each other throughout fitness journeys or throughout other life experiences. It's definitely like a rewarding place to just see the impact that your work is having on people's lives. So I really do appreciate every single post that comes in, every single kudos that comes in for my team, or just any sort of feedback in general. It's greatly appreciated. And we definitely encourage you to continue to post about it because it only encourages us and excites us to make us do our job better. So I really do appreciate it.
Mm. Yeah, I think everyone has to have at least one shot of their reflection through the screen with some sweaty fingerprints on it. That's just a badge of honor. So if you haven't done it yet, after your next workout, when you hit some sort of milestone, take a picture and put that out there.
Please do, because we would love to feature you on any of our social media channels or emails. Again, it's also really nice to put, I think, a face behind the username, which we see a ton of usernames. So being able to see that actual human being behind behind the username is great.
Mhm. What I love seeing is I love seeing some of people's setups, their home gym or out on a balcony overlooking a lake or through a window with snow falling down. I mean, it's just great to see where people are doing their rowing. Um,
Definitely.
I've thought about, I'm thinking about maybe doing some short videos, kind of a pimp my erg vibe, where
I could see that.
I think that'd be a lot of fun and just you see even more creativity as to how people set up their regatta.
Yeah, and also, like, if you have it in a tight space, that's also, like, great. It definitely has the ability to fit in my small New York apartment, so, you can definitely make it work in whatever space, you have.
That's it. Yeah. Well, before we started this recording, I went back and I looked on the Facebook group. And I thought I don't remember when my first post was, and um, I was actually one of the founding members. I think there were three of us when the group started, and so I used to have a designation as founding member. Now it's group expert in rowing. But I pulled back through Facebook and I found the very first post I made was March 18th, 2020. And this is one of those dates where everyone's going to go, where was I that week of March in 2020? And I was with my family. It was our spring break. We went to Colorado where we go skiing every year. And as we drove up, the ski areas started closing one by one. And so I put a post, and I'll just kind of read it. It was funny. I said, I was sad that I would be away from my Ergatta for a week while skiing with the family in Colorado over spring break. I'd miss out on the race of the week and completing my March challenge. Now I'm sitting around in beautiful weather, not skiing or doing anything other than reading depressing posts about COVID and drinking a few beers. How I miss my Ergatta. I look forward to getting back to rowing next week and making the most of our social distancing experiments. Experiments.
Yeah.
And I had a picture of my feet out in the snow in front of me like I was on my Ergatta. Um, wow, we've come a long ways.
How quick time passes too.
Yeah, to think that was, 4 years ago. Um, but yeah, I didn't count how many posts I'd had, but there's a few.
And
Uh,
you're also, commenting on a ton too, which I think just shows, like, really good support, and, I also do appreciate how, I do appreciate, like, how you, but I think how also other community members are welcoming in new posters or just, like, answering questions on just, like, their experiences as well. I know, again, we do have a lot of people who are new to rowing, and it might be their first experience on the rower once they received it, or it might be, like, their second time using it. And I think everyone has a starting point and everyone is so supportive of each other and just generally answering questions on like, how do I get started? Like, what's your favorite workout? Can anyone add me? Like, I'm looking for more friends. So I think that's always just like a nice aspect of our community as well. It's just like how friendly and welcoming it is.
Absolutely agree. So, to those of you listening, if you're just a Facebook voyeur, come join us. Come join in the conversations. Take that sweaty selfie. Um, Let us know what works for you, what you like, what questions you have. You'll get a bunch of responses as honest as they can be, and you will learn a lot. Period. All right, Luana, thank you very much for spending the time with us this morning. I'll just reiterate, if you have ideas, suggestions about challenges, charities to support, send that message to support@ergatta.com, and Luana and her team will get that message. Um, just thanks again. Thanks for being a great community. Um, can't say enough good things about the Ergattaverse, and having more people from that Ergattaverse on the coming episodes of At the Catch. Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much for having me.
Bye bye.
Bye.